Here's a hot take. The home valuation process is atrocious. Can it be fixed? Let's take a look. Wow, atrocious, Hills? Well, that may be a little hot, but Webster's defines it as brutal, cruel, appalling, revolting, and very poor quality. Realtors and lenders? I'll let you guys be the judge. Is atrocious accurate, yes or no? I think I know the answer. Now, before I get into this, appraisers, we are not talking specifically about you. We're talking about the process, and we understand that most of our pain is because we have a lack of appraisers. So keep an open mind here. We're not taking shots at you. I can just hear all the realtors and lenders watching right now saying, yes, we are. You charged me $2,000 for an appraisal last week, and you said it was in a rural area and it was in downtown Seattle. Anyways, guys, we digress. There's a really good write-up on this from a source you may not be aware of, guys. Let's show them. Glenn starts with a very humbling statement about the appraisal industry. An industry is typically ripe for disruption when the current business models are filled with inefficiencies. Literally everyone listening right now is like, go on. And he does. Their subjective nature leaves room for errors and inconsistent results, and customers are left feeling frustrated. Oftentimes, someone needs to experience the painful process of an outdated model themselves to truly appreciate how bad the change is really needed. Yes, 100% yes, said everyone ever in the real estate industry. And we don't need to cover the why behind this. We all know the crazy stories of long turn times, crazy appraisal costs, lack of communication, the list goes on. We all know that. We don't need to cover and touch on that. What you may not know, and what I learned while hosting an appraisal panel for the MBA, which I know sounds like a party, right? Is the professional barrier of entry to becoming an appraiser is way too high. We've made this point before, but the appraisal industry did little to correct it. Get this, guys, in many states, it can be 2,000 hours of experience in no shorter than 24 months, and at least an AA degree, 150 hours of qualifying appraisal-specific education, and a state exam. And if you want to be a certified general appraiser, it requires 3,000 hours of experience, a bachelor's degree, and 300 hours of qualifying appraisal-specific education. This is where your jaw hits the floor, as it should. Again, guys, our issue isn't with the appraisers. Yours might be, but that's just ridiculous. It's a tough job, but the criteria is exactly why the industry is ripe for an overhaul. How is it that a realtor can list and sell the exact same house, and a lender can finance the exact same house with a fraction of the education and experience? A freaking fraction. But the appraiser is put through a ridiculous gauntlet of requirements. Something's broken here, guys. Now, sure, we've taken some steps to improve this even just this week. FHFA announced at the MBA conference that desktop appraisals will be allowed permanently moving forward. For consumers watching this, that's where an appraiser performs an appraisal from their desktop versus driving and inspecting the property personally. They're allowed to conduct the appraisal remotely using public records such as listings and tax assessments. Now, this starts for purchase loans only and begins next year, early 2022. Couple that with the existing appraisal waiver process, and this removes some of the pressure and backlog on appraisers. It won't fix it all, but it will help. As you can imagine, not everyone is loving these changes. We are the RE source and we dig deep for everything, and we do have a link to the appraiser forum. If you'd like to read what they have to say on this, you can. Links in the comments section below. Let's just say there's some colorful comments in there. Again, we're not taking shots at appraisers today. We're just talking about the process in general, and we feel for you guys as the requirements are just too high. As an industry, we should have addressed this years ago, but we didn't, and here we are now. So, full circle, guys, is atrocious too harsh of a word? Realtors and lenders, weigh in below and keep it clean. I'll get it started. I know a lender that has his pilot license, true story. He literally had to fly an appraiser to the property because no one would take the order. And of course, yes, it costs thousands of dollars. So there's that. We also had a 442 last week that cost $500 to reinspect. That's what, a 200% increase? And the highest number I've seen personally for an appraisal is $3,000. Can anyone beat that? I don't know, we'll see. See you guys in the comment section below. See you guys next week.